ECW House Party 1998. The first pay-per-view of 1998 for the old EC dub. Are they going to start out on a good foot? 1997 was kind of an iffy year for them, if I'm going to be honest. But they got some good momentum going into 1998. Sure, the worst match of 1997 did belong to ECW. However, we got the rematch on this show. Is it any better? Couldn't be any worse. Or could it? Well, we get into that. We get into some head. We get into some WWF guys coming back to the ECW. Loaded show here. You might say it's a party or something. It's what the event is called. But I'll tell you what I'm called. Excited. Excited to have you here, sitting there or laying there, or squatting there to take a listen or a watch or a taste to the Apron Bump Podcast.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get started.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I am your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle. How is everybody doing today? Are we ready for a little Extreme Championship Wrestling? Man, well, if you're not, don't know what you expected clicking on an ECW review, but hey, stick around. Maybe you'll like it. We got ECW House Party 1998. Like I mentioned, the first ECW show of 1998, and I'm excited. Look, if you've been listening to the Apron Bump, you may know this, but I'm kind of in the dark a lot about ECW. I'm not super familiar with the promotion's history. I know certain things that happen, certain people that come in and out, and certain title reigns and stuff. But in terms of just the timeline of events and the build-ups and the context, don't got a lot of knowledge, which makes it one of the more exciting timelines for me to gallivant along about, and hopefully just as entertaining for you people. For you people, that sounded derogatory. For you people, no, for all of the lovely hard-ons out there checking out the Apron Bump. Well, we got a lovely show here. We are fresh off of November to Remember 1997. Where Shane Douglas beat Bam Bam Bigelow in the main event to recapture the ECW championship. Now, Shane Douglas is not here on this show. Came out of that match with an injured arm, so he is not going to be defending. We're not going to be having a ECW title match on this show, but we got plenty of other title matches in the main event. Man, needs no title. We got the Stairway to Hell ladder match, maybe one of the most infamous matches in ECW history, a match that I had never seen before, but as I was watching it, I was like, oh, I've heard about this. Oh yeah, I've heard about this thing that happened. Like, there's some crazy stuff that happens in this match, and you might be asking yourself, what's a Stairway to Hell ladder match? Hardest part of the ring? Well, we'll get into it. Why don't you just cool your horses there, pal? All right, we'll get into it. But that's gonna be main eventing, like I mentioned on the outset, the tables and ladders match between Sabu and Sandman. I dubbed that the worst match of 1997 per the Hardest Promotion Battle. Go check out that episode that I did a few weeks ago. But we have the rematch here, obviously on this show, and I'm interested to see if it's any better and or if it's any worse. Maybe it's worse than that. We'll see. We get all into that. And what else? We got Bam Bam Bigelow versus RVD. We got Taz defending the TV title. Who against? Somebody returning from the WWF, perhaps? Brakkus. Just kidding. Brakkus is on the show, actually, but he's not challenging for the TV title. But there will be ample amounts of Brakkus talk on this episode. And I know that's in high demand nowadays. So we'll create some viral clips out of Brakkus talk here. What else? Just Incredible versus the Great Sasuke. I guess we haven't really talked about it too much, but Just Incredible, who is still pretty new here, upset the Great Sasuke on ECW TV. We got the rematch here It's actually the cover of the poster or the VHS or whatever. So big time stuff here. We got a lot of good wrestling matches on this show. We got some, and then and then we got other matches. I'll just say that. It's a very ECW show. It's as with most of these ECW super shows, it's like, yeah, this feels like ECW. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, that's a loaded question. I would need like an hour or two to really get into, the nuances. Oh, wait. This is a podcast. That's exactly what this is. And I'm excited to get into it. But it's not just me here. I am joined by my lovely, lovely guests from the Stiff Shot podcast, Scott and Tim, joining the show here. Like I said, from the Stiff Shot Wrestling podcast. You can listen to them wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube. They do an awesome, awesome show, kind of a new podcast, but they get into all of the cracks and crevices of wrestling. They do quizzes, they do segments, they talk just general scuttlebutt in terms of wrestling. They get into it all. And most importantly, in my opinion, just an endlessly entertaining show. I strongly suggest you go check out the Stiff Shot podcast. Like I said, YouTube, wherever you listen, all of their info is in the description. Go check them out. Check me out as well. Follow me at Apron Bump on all the social medias. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. What's your favorite Hack Myers match? Leave a comment. And is Hack Myers still around? I don't even know if he is. One more thing before we get into it. The Hardest Promotion Battle of 1998 will be continuing, but on this show, I mentioned on the Royal Rumble episode previously, we're going to wait until each of the three companies, WWF, ECW, and WCW, we're going to wait until each company has had at least one pay-per-view / special event, as is the case here, before we delve into the scoreboard and the best ofs and the worst ofs and things like that. We will grade the show at the end of the episode here, but in terms of a true Hardest Promotion, that'll get underway here on the WCW Sold Out 1998 episode coming here shortly. So stay tuned for that. But I'm done babbling. Let's get into it, shall we? ECW House Party 1998 with myself and Scott and Tim from the Stiff Shot podcast. I know woman never tells, but how old are you guys?
Yeah, well, I asked already, so I'm 41.
Oh, geez. How was the fucking pyramids getting built or whatever?
God. If you thought that was bad. 42.
Hoo-wee.
And this guy only
Jeez
recently
Louise.
discovered that however old he is whatever year's WrestleMania it is.
Just as
it's pretty nice. Lucky you. Lucky you. Is that the same mic you were using, by the way, Timbo?
It is. Is it coming
I think
through
so. It is coming well. I was making sure it was the right one.
Better.
I've had that happen to people. No, I mean, it's good. I was just making sure that was the right one. For some reason, I remember you sounding differently from back in the day. So, oh, we good. We Gucci. Well, I think we're good. I think browser space is empty. Now we can get into it, guys. Nicole Bass or China? Who do you guys have?
Oof. That is a toughie. I'm gonna go China.
Yeah,
Okay.
I go China all day too. But honestly, when I was fantasy booking, I really thought SummerSlam 1998 would have been Nicole Bass one-on-one with China. That was my dream match in the late 90s.
Oh. That was your dream match, not Sting Taker, not Stone Cold Goldberg. It was China versus Nicole Bass.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, we're starting off strong here.
Wow. One night in Nicole or whatever.
Oh dear God.
Anyhoozle, I'd sure that'd be a party. But speaking of parties, House Party 1998 from ECW. Guys, you guys get a chance to check out the show?
Indeed, yes. And I'd never seen that before, so that was a treat for me.
Were you guys ECW guys growing up?
Definitely. Scott, go ahead. Tell them how much of an ECW guy you were.
I know you were more than me because you would actually stay up late or find it. Like before I knew this guy, I didn't really know Tim till I think when ECW was on its way out, close to like 2001, maybe like 2000 we met, 99, somewhere in that era, I think. But I would stumble across it, but I wouldn't like watch it religiously like every week or anything like that. In the later years when the network came, yeah, I think I've watched every single episode of ECW TV. So I guess I've seen this before since it was technically on TV, this House Party 98, but like watching it back this week, like I didn't remember watching it before. It was kind of all new to me. But yeah, I mean, ECW was ECW, man. But I was always a WWE guy all day, so that was the most of my wrestling watch. But Tim, I know you'd scour to find that ECW television.
You know, as a kid, I was up late watching the MSG network at 1 a.m. as like a 12-year-old. I mean, I'd have to do the math here, I guess. But yeah, so I discovered them through the MSG network, which was available here in the Northeast. And they would air the weekly hardcore TVs. So that is how I stumbled upon that. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because again, I was a WWE guy too. I started watching in probably 91 is when I started watching wrestling. And then, to go through the cartoonish new generation era and then one night stumble upon ECW was a total life changer. It was crazy stuff, man. So that's how I got my first dose of ECW.
Yeah, it's a stark contrast. Yeah, I was the same. When I was getting into ECW, watching Yoshitatsu versus Ezekiel Jackson, like I was like, man, this is just incredible stuff like no other. And then ECW went away, of course. So I went through the same things as you guys. We might be different in age, but we have the same experiences. When the zombie, got beat up by Sandman, those are the good old days.
God, man,
you don't know you're living in them until
until after the fact. There were bright spots in that promotion, I thought, but certainly a shade of the original ECW, to say the least.
That's debatable, but that's a whole other podcast, I guess. But in terms of House Party 98, if you had just to kind of set the tone here, if you had to give this show a grade out of 100, 0 to 100, what do you guys think you would throw at it?
What do you think, Scott?
All right, so as a wrestling show, like I'll give it like, and this probably being nice, I'd give it like a 72. But as if you wanted to say exactly
what I was going to say, but keep going. Yeah. I was going to give a 72. Right. Go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say as an ECW show, though, if we're rating it on an ECW scale, I'm probably going to give it like a 91 because like it really has everything for an ECW fan. It's got the violence. It's got the comedy. It's got the blood. Like it's like everything an ECW fan, I think, goes for. It's got the wrestling, like the great wrestling. So, like, on the ECW scale, I give it that. But as an overall show, watching everything we've watched over the last 35 years, like, overall, I'd say 72, and that's probably being nice.
Yeah, definitely. ECW shows definitely have to be weighted on, like, a scale, like you mentioned. Because, like you mentioned, you go to an ECW show or you turn on an ECW show, you know what you're expecting. And House Party, I mean, it kind of gave, like you said, kind of everything you want. Blood, there's New Jack, there's wacky characters, there's comedy. I thought it was a pretty solid show for an ECW show if you're into that kind of thing. But if you're turning on a wrestling show for just pure graps, I don't know if this is the most stellar. But there's some gems in there. But I guess might as well just dive right into this bad boy. So this match or the show kicks off with the 6-man tag team champions defending their trophy. We got the FBI, the team of Little Guido, Tommy Rich, and Tracy Smothers, taking on the team of Axel Rotten, Balls Mahoney, and Tommy Dreamer. My goodness. This is this trophy, fellas. What do you guys know about this this coveted this ECW 6-man trophy that the FBI are touting out here?
I mean, that was a surprise, right? I mean, he was name dropping. He was Tommy Rich. So Tommy Rich took the mic, and this was a long, I would say, drawn out. I don't even know what I would want to call it. I wouldn't even call it a promo.
It's not a promo. It's just it's just
diatribe,
manifesto, maybe.
Manifesto. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Sure.
They did say they got that trophy from the Von Erichs, just FYI. Right? No, not the Von Erichs. They from the Freebirds. Sorry.
Freebirds. Yeah, I mean,
is that who they won it from?
That's what they claim. That's what Tommy Rich claimed. I believe so.
Because they also defended against the who was it? The Von Erichs, the Freebirds.
I think Dusty's name was dropped in there at some point.
Road Warrior situation, maybe.
Yeah. It was clear Tommy Rich may have dipped into the Sandman stash prior to heading out for the evening. That man was hammered. I mean, he was feeling good out there.
I think that's just how he talks.
Oh, okay. That's what the slurring was?
I think so. I think he's like, where is he from? Where's Wildfire Tommy Rich from? Anybody know?
I would guess down south.
He's obviously from Rome, Italy. He's part of the FBI.
I'm such an idiot. Why? These things are right in front of us, and we just. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. This is why you're here, to keep us straight, Scott. Thank you.
That's right.
Do you guys know he's still wrestling?
Come on.
Is he really?
Dude, okay. Guess his current age in 2026.
You know, I have a point to make after this because I feel like it's going to be a lot lower than what we're anticipating here or what we're expecting.
I mean, he looks 80 years old here.
He does. He's definitely weathered.
I mean,
here.
I'm trying to think of like when he started his wrestling career, but in like 91, he was in WCW, I believe. So he had to
that is correct.
be in his late 20s then, I feel like. So I don't know, maybe. Man, I don't know. I'll guess 62.
Let me guess. Okay. He is currently 69.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Hasn't even hit the 7-0 yet.
56. So he would have been 41 here? No, 42. 41 or 42 during the show, which is wild. Which is insane. He is 10 years younger than Bobby Lashley is, which is, man.
Well, 42 in ECW in 98 is the same as like, I don't know. That's like Sting in AEW. Right there.
Right. Yes. You've lived a life. At that point. But
yeah. And I was surprised, like looking back. So like, you know, obviously we've seen these guys wrestle since, you know, this time, right? I was surprised at how young these dudes looked. You know, and I'm probably sounding like a 90-year-old man here, right? But man, guy like Jerry Lynn, I was like, wow, man, like this, you know, like as a kid watching this, I had no concept of age, like age of the wrestlers, right? I would just watch, consume the product, etc. But now that I'm older and I go back to look like, and the thing that hit me is, and we'll get into it in a later match, but Joey Styles at one point said, Candido is 25 years old. And I went, oh my God. Because I actually had met him 2 years before that and had no idea that guy was 23 when I met him. And just crazy stuff, man. They looked really like, you know, it just took me aback. I was like, okay, I had kind of a moment to myself there.
People just looked older about it. It's like when you watch like the Big Show in WCW, like he's like 24 years old there. Like that didn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Even Hogan in like the late 80s, he looked like he was only maybe 30 something, even though he looked a lot older.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what bald will do to you.
Yeah,
that horseshoe cut will make anybody look at least 40 at any given time. But no Hogan in this match. We got ourselves a 6-man, and weirdly, with the names involved, there weirdly is like a lot of solid wrestling in this match. You got your comedy spots for the FBI. They keep trying to break up pins, but they keep elbowing their partner, and the crooked ref Jeff Jones, who I guess is Italian, so he's a part of the faction. It was a fun opener. Didn't have any qualms with it really. What'd you guys think about this opening match?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, going back,
say,
go ahead, Scott.
Go ahead, Tim. Sorry. No, you.
Right.
No, I'm gonna go. So you go ahead, Tim.
I appreciate it. I thought the opener, I mean, Scott, I think you and I talked offline that was like a 15-minute opener before any action even got started. Some of it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, Tommy Rich was, somewhat entertaining during his drunken diatribe. But yeah, that was the thing that kind of stuck out to me, was just the long intro. I feel like when you go to a wrestling match, like you're like, man, I'm ready to go. Like, let's see the action. And instead you had to listen to Tommy Rich for 15 minutes. But on the flip side, now you're like, God, I can't wait to see this guy get killed. So maybe, that was a good way to generate heat, right?
Yeah, a lot of you fat fuck chants. I mean, just belting across the arena, and Tommy didn't like that. So yeah, he had some sort of heat or whatever.
For sure, yeah, which kind of continued on throughout the rest of the match. But I thought it was solid. Little Guido, always a solid worker. He looked pretty crisp in there. It was good to see Dreamer, since I have my original old school ECW Innovator of Violence shirt on for this evening's podcast.
I like it. Did you get it off of him? Did he throw it? Did he take it off of his back and throw it to you in the crowd?
He did not, unfortunately. Yeah.
Damn, but no one's ECW. He probably mailed it to you.
Yeah, I had original ECW merchandise catalogs. I called the telephone number on the MSG network and ordered a merchandise catalog that, come to find out, was likely sent to me.
Yeah, with your mom's credit card without her even knowing, I bet, you son of a bitch.
1,000%.
Worth it.
But speaking of Dreamer, though, when I was watching this back, a Tommy Dreamer frog splash, I don't remember that ever being in his repertoire.
Not a bad one. Not a bad frog splash, I gotta say.
He got some height on that sucker.
But overall, I mean, FBI's matches, I think, were always like, they're always fun matches. I think they were probably an opener for ECW most of the time because, they could get the crowd going, right? Like, you're there to jaw jack, you're there to chant, you fat fuck at them, like, just have that interaction. But at the end of the match, the 3 count, I know the referee gets involved, and then it was like, who counts the 3? Balls Mahoney counts the 3, and that's the match? Like, I don't know. Where's the order here? Whatever. But we're there having a good time, right? So that's all that matters at the end. It's a house party.
The finish was that's actually a very good point. It is a house party as per the name. So we should expect this type of chaos, I guess. But yeah, the finish comes where Tommy Dreamer rips in the Jeff Jones, who isn't the referee, but he's out there to help the FBI. Dreamer rips him in. It just distracts them, and then all 3 FBI guys roll up all 3 of the other team, but then they kick out. But then the 2 referees fight each other, and then Beulah gets in there and low blows Jeff Jones, and then the original ref pins Jeff Jones, and then Tommy pins Guido, and then there's a double 3 count. I don't know what happened, but apparently Axel Balls and Tommy win, so... Now, but here's the thing, guys. This was not a sanctioned 6-man trophy match because, as per Tommy Rich, they only have to defend once every 30 days. So they are within their rights to make this a non-title match. So the trophy stays in-house in Italy, but the other guys win this match, unfortunately. So
yeah, which he took the mic at the end to let us know that. Rarely do you see a guy take the mic after a match is complete. So I thought that was that was interesting.
Yeah, you thought he was done. You thought Tommy Rich was done droning on, but not today, pal.
Thanks a lot, Tommy.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Great stuff. But we get a bit of a contrast to that match next. We got your boy who you just mentioned, Jerry Lynn, taking on Chris Candido in a just a wrestling match. It was a bit there's one portion of this match that was a little clunky. Ultimately, you got two young dudes. You said Chris Candido was like 24 or something, and
24,
Jerry
25.
Lynn's, I believe, in his 20s as well. Here, it's Jerry Lynn's always been like, at least to me, he's always been like the old veteran. That's he's the pioneer of the X division. Like that's all I know him as. So to see him as a young guy doesn't really compute to me. There's some fun stuff here.
Like no beard, nothing.
He needs that goatee.
Clean cut, white meat.
The meat was white,
yeah.
But how did the meat taste to you guys? Did you guys enjoy this match?
So when I fired this one up, I thought like this would be the best match on the card, and I guess it was close. I don't think it was ultimately the best match, but I thought it'd be a great wrestling match. But the top rope frog splash right to the outside into the front row, and I mean that's what ECW fans want. They just want that, dude. If they could get a guy thrown on top of them, that's what they're asking for, and they asked for it later.
Well, that was the goal.
Yeah,
I think that was the idea, was for Jerry Lynn to jump from the apron into the crowd. Didn't quite make it though. Went ribs first into the back. Dude, I was watching this and I yelped watching it. That looked like he's stiffly just bashed his ribs into the barricade. I guess you can't win them all though,
Yeah,
so.
but those "you fucked up" chants, they were ready for him.
Oh God, they were all over the guy. I mean, he messed up, give him a break. He's having a great match so far. And in fact, if you look back, he actually slips before he decides to run the entire apron. So that should have tipped him off that, hey, maybe the boots are a little slippery today. Maybe the apron's a little slick, and yet he still attempted it. And man, that sternum shot on that guardrail, I was like, oh, brutal. Probably got the wind knocked out of him, man. That was a lot of situations with guardrails this evening. But yes,
a lot of guardrail action this show. If you're into guardrail play,
this is the show.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, House Party 98. You better fire it up. You'll be turgid the entire time because they are just all over the place.
I'll tell you, that's one thing though about the arena setup. The guardrail, at least on like the hard cam side, like so close to the ring. Like those guys, what's a straw hat guy and the other guy that looks like a cross between Jesus and Dude Love, like those ECW fans that are basically like the green shirt guys of that generation. Like they were so close to the ring that like if somebody was running the ropes, they could just like, put their arm around and just like hook the leg, I swear. But
right.
That ECW arena, I'll tell you, me and Tim have been there before. Kyle, you ever been there? ECW arena?
I have not, unfortunately. No, I hear it's a lot different nowadays.
So we were there 2008, I think it was, or 2009. It was a Dragon Gate show, Dragon Gate USA, like their first show. And I'll tell you though, it was in like July that arena was hot as balls. I don't think we've ever sweat so much. Now this being House Party was in January. It was probably very, very convenient for the ECW faithful. So I would have loved to have been in that arena probably in a January versus that time we were in there in a July. But ultimately, ECW arena, I mean, it's classic. It was an amazing venue, but we were fucking hot as balls in the middle of July.
Yeah, that was a bucket list item for me for sure. After watching all those years of hardcore TV in the 90s, and then I started to watch the pay-per-views and things like that, of course. But to actually go there, and I don't think it went through there was a remodel of it, I believe, to your point, Kyle. And I don't think at that time, Scott, when we went there, that was still somewhat original. And just, it's a different feel in that place. You could just like, the walls were humming. You knew that a lot of history went down in that building. And it was just, I mean, it's in the total shit part of town. I mean, it was like South Philly.
That's the charm.
It is. My apologies to any South Philly residents, but man, it was a little rough around the edges there. But I loved it. We walked down the street for a few blocks to get food.
A few blocks too many. We're lucky we made it out of there, honestly.
Oh,
yeah, a few blocks left, get stabbed. A few blocks right, get food. So
it was doubly hot when we got into the arena. Yes, but yeah, cool place, man. Definitely a memorable experience.
Yeah, it's I wish I would have gone in the original days. I've seen it in like NXT do shows from there. It's like this isn't the same place, but yeah, you gotta figure Sandman's blood's in there somewhere though. The stains still lie, I'm sure.
For sure. And real quick on this match, Kyle, the ending. Can we talk real quick about the finish? Because it was weird, right? Like Candido came into the match with a taped elbow, it looked like. Okay. Yep. Didn't seem to really, I think, Lynn started going after the elbow towards the end of the match. But it wasn't like a known thing. Joey Styles didn't talk about it really at all on commentary. And then, they did a spot off the top rope where he landed on Candido's arm and then I think went for the finish shortly thereafter. And it was an armbar finish and he goes to extend the arm and Candido just taps right away before that extension even happens. And then Damage Control comes in. Dude, I gotta get me a Damage Control t-shirt. Those were cool shirts. So
you didn't get one from the catalog, or was it even available?
I will say I know I have that catalog around somewhere still, and I have yet to be able to find it. But when I do, I will report back and let you know if there is a Damage Control shirt.
I need to know.
It's going to be in that secret page along with Atlas security jackets.
Ooh.
Man, what a time! What a time to be alive. But
sure.
Yeah, like I agree. Like the psychology makes sense, right? Like Candido has an injured arm. Of course, he's going to tap quick from an arm bar. It makes sense. But to your point, yeah, I wish there would have been more like focus on it during the match, maybe some commentary highlights. I do think because that botch that Jerry did, onto the barricade, I feel like this finish might have hit harder had he nailed it. And then maybe it would have been a smoother transition into the ring. But yeah, it was a bit of a clunky finish. But I was surprised to see Jerry Lynn get the win because Chris Candido, he's coming in here as a tag team champion with Lance Storm, and it's been pretty built up, this Candido. But I guess they see something in this Jerry Lynn fella. We'll see if he takes off, but only time will tell. And also, I was watching this match. I don't know if you guys got this impression, but when I was watching Chris Candido wrestle or just walk around, this dude's like a spitting image of MJF.
Talking about physically?
Physically, the way he moves, the way he walks, even when he was shit talking because the crowd's chanting, I believe it was Sonny's fucking Vince, I believe was the chant.
Really?
Nice. In the realm of possibilities.
It was either she's fucking Vince or Sonny is a bitch. I'm pretty sure it was Sonny's fucking Vince, which is funny given what happens later in the show. But the way Chris was like, you guys kick them all out. If they keep chanting this, kick them out. Like just his mannerisms, not the accent, but like his mannerisms reminded me a lot of MJF and the physique, all of it. I don't know if you guys got that impression or not, though.
Yeah, he's a pretty compact guy. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely built. Like I said, I met him in 1996, and he was a big guy in person for sure. Yeah, and not tall, I guess, but definitely
fire hydrant,
gym or two. Fire hydrant, perfect. Yeah. I can see the similarities with MJF, definitely.
What about you, Scott? Did you get that? Do you agree, disagree? What do you think about that?
Now that you say it, I guess I see it a little bit. I'm just trying to think if MJF had a valet he had to worry about with the rest of the locker room, and that's where I probably draw that there's not that many similarities. So
he's dating the ring announcer lady, so there's no chance that that's happening.
I guess not. So it's
Alicia Atut, I believe her name is. So
Atut, a tout, something like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Atut, this next match, gee whiz. Gran Hamada versus Gran Naniwa. What's your guys' favorite Gran Naniwa match?
Jeez, I'm glad you said that word before I did, or said his last name before I did. Man, I was like, oh, geez, I don't have to lead with this, but I wasn't too familiar with Michinoku Pro, guys. This was billed, I guess, and doing a little research here, as a super card, obviously, because you had guys coming in from Michinoku Pro, coming to ECW to do this event. But my only real exposure to Michinoku Pro was Taka Michinoku in WWF and Kaientai, and of course, everybody remembers
Choppy PP.
Choppy. That's right. So, yeah, we may or may not do local trivia contests, wrestling trivia contests. And Scott, what is our team name?
Our team name 100% of the time is always Yamaguchi-san Sword Company.
Yes.
What a pull.
So if you ever see that name on any trivia contest boards, it's these two goons over here. That's right. But that was my only time seeing those two guys wrestle. I thought it started off well. There was a couple of spots in there that I had never seen those maneuvers before. There was one where he held, he held Nanu.
You got it.
Okay, thank you. Held his arms and did a standing drop kick holding his arms. So that was a new one for me. And there was another maneuver after that he did. I'm not going to remember what it was now, but some innovative stuff. And then I thought the match kind of, was not as exciting as the beginning few minutes of it.
Yeah, I think we're 0-3 with finishes here because we have another wonky one here. First, I agree. There was some good stuff in this one. Like, I think it was Hamada did a really sick, flying snapmare, and then they're running the ropes, they're countering, they're throwing each other up, they're landing on their feet. There's planches to the outside. There's some fun stuff, and it is a fun, just exhibition match from an outside company. So I like the concept, and I like a lot of what happened in this match. However, the finish. So Hamada hits Naniwa with a tornado DDT. Hamada goes for the pin. Naniwa kicks out at 2. The referee, however, is like, nah, I think I'm done with this match. So he counts to 3 and decides he's done. So the match is over, but this didn't, I don't know if it's a language barrier or what, but because these guys just kept on wrestling, and Hamada, sets up Naniwa, even though the match is over, hits him with a top rope Frankensteiner, goes for the pin, but the ref's like, hey, pal, match's been over. But then he just counts again, all right, 1, 2, 3, good, ring the bell, and the music plays, and everyone's confused, and I'm flaccid. So that's kind of where we're at here.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I feel like you read my notes verbatim with that one. And I do think it was a language barrier. I literally wrote down language barrier, ? And then he forced the ref to recount the 3. So I thought the ref, he was going strong there. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this 3 count again for a second time. And then, looked like there was some arm twisting going on, and, ref counted to 3 for a second time.
Maybe threatened maybe threatened a little choppy something with the sword, maybe?
That's when they knew when to quit it. Who was the ref for that one? Was it Pee-wee?
I believe so. It was about to be No-Wee. Thoughts?
Yes. Exactly.
There it is. Punishing us over here.
Oh, man. But, yeah, outside of that, that was pretty much all I had. Any other nuggets on this one?
Nah, I wouldn't say so, because basically an introduction, I guess, for this promotion and the wrestlers from that promotion, I guess, to North America is really what it seemed to accomplish. The only thing I knew about Michinoku Pro other than Taka Michinoku was I just know somewhere there's like an Undertaker versus Hakushi match that happened in Michinoku Pro. That would be if you told me to name like any Michinoku Pro match, that's I would name that match because it's the only match I know from that promotion. And I don't think I've even seen that entire match, but I just know those clips surface every once in a while. But,
yeah, I'm surprised.
But
what never ran with that.
Did somebody get
Hakushi
paralyzed though?
Like,
or was that later on? Or was that after that match, right? Not paralyzed, but like whatever.
Paralyzed?
Damage control came out again. Or am I confusing that with another match?
Oh no, Hamada comes out later in the show.
That's what it is. Okay.
Then he gets stretchered out.
All right.
A lot of Hamada on the show. Put a pin in Hamada.
Hamada heavy show for sure. My only other point was green shirt guy. Hawaiian shirt guy in ECW got kind of involved a little bit in this one.
Right.
I think it was Nanawa who was taking quite the issue with the man in the straw hat. So I found that very interesting. There was some jarring back and forth between the two of those guys. I thought it was going to come to blows. I really did. It seemed pretty heated.
Yeah. I wonder what the issue was. Was it does Naniwa not like hats? Does he think he's taking the shine off of his mask? Because Naniwa had a pretty interesting mask. I think Naniwa. Let me double check this. I think it means crab.
Oh, get out!
I think Joey Styles made a reference or something. I could be totally off on here. Naniwa, Naniwa, meaning.
Good luck.
Let's see here. It is all right. No crabs. Oh wait, hold on. Naniwa translates to Garden of the Fish, which is not
crabs.
Wow.
Not totally different. There's crabs in water. And fish in our own water. There's a tie in there. So
sure.
And this is coming off what your last pod where you were talking about that fish market street fight, right? See, it all ties together.
It's been a very fish heavy quarter for the Apron Bump, so we're staying thematic. We're staying thematic with it. But speaking of fish, Amish, the Amish smell like fish. Saying we got Amish Roadkill versus Al Snow with head, folks. Who wants head, ladies and gentlemen? Come on now. Blowjobs. Yeah, we are at the pretty much the genesis, very beginning of head Al Snow, which I would argue probably the biggest part of his career. Really taking off here with the music, the foam heads are in the crowd. I mean, there's just a sea of white heads in there. And they're also holding up the foam heads. And I mean, the energy is what do you guys think?
10
Al Snow coming out with a head. Why?
10 out of 10.
Why was it successful? What is the magic in head?
You seem to be a man of the puns. I think Al Snow was also a man of the puns, and I remember this gimmick. I remember seeing it on TV during it, during his run there, and I kind of got it. I was like, I didn't go to the length of purchasing a styrofoam head. However, I did think about it. Did think about purchasing.
There's still time.
You know what? There is still time. Maybe I'll add that to the wrestling collection shelf. But high energy, whether you love the gimmick or not, I was just actually picturing myself being in the arena for that entrance, and I was like, hot damn. That must have been, it was just rabid. It was totally rabid. It was chaos, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, totally agree. What about you, Scott? Are you pro or anti-head?
Oh, definitely pro head. I mean, this guy's career would be nothing without the head. But yeah, pro head all day. Probably, I would have to say the most over. I mean, it was the beginning stages of head, but probably the most over, I think, like with the audience ever in his career. And And that's, you watch that show and you see all of the people with the head and they're bopping it up and down. You want to be a part of that. And I'm sure ticket sales went up just because, everybody wanted to see some head, I guess. But, oh man, the camera work though, the ins and outs. And I mean, if you're lucky you didn't have a seizure watching that.
It reminds me of the current product on WWE, man. Jesus, does anybody out there talk about the current camera work? That's what I thought of.
Well, yeah, we're sure that wasn't Kevin Dunn with those camera cuts back in ECW.
To be fair, I think that the chaotic energy kind of feeds into the Al Snow character. So at least in this context, it makes a little bit. It is tough to watch sometimes, but yeah, I'm not going to give Kevin Dunn the credit for making head what it was.
No, or anything else.
But
for that matter.
Yeah, no, but it's very because I've been watching all the WWF and stuff within this timeline, and I've watched him with the Shinobi stuff or whatever his gimmick was. Shinobi, he was Avatar, Leaf Cassidy, and then he was kind of just toiling around wherever before then. And that kind of like pent up frustration kind of is the foundation of this character, which has been fun to like watch progress because it's his frustration with not getting over has led him to a character that made him as over as he would ever be. So I think it's really like fascinating to watch. It's like it's one of those things where it's like hard to explain to like a non-wrestling fan. Like, why are people going ape shit for this guy just because he's shaking a head around? It's just like he had to live through it, I guess. But
and then doing the schizophrenic talking to the head and getting advice from the head as well, which was
as one does.
Those were great television on ECW when talking to the head. But yeah, between the head and then obviously just having the opportunity in ECW, like things weren't working out in WWF. So we know there was a relationship with ECW. Okay, they gave him the opportunity to go to ECW. He made that thing work like that. And then he was like out of WWE back, within a year, maybe a little over a year. I mean, he was in WWF.
I think it's less than a year, yeah.
Definitely by like that June. I want to say May, but I know that June, that's when he had the famous Al Snow and Head versus Too Much, and Head lost because they put a bottle of Head and Shoulders under Head and pinned him 1, 2, 3, or her. I don't know. Is Head a he or she? I go guess it's a she, but anyway.
I think it's that's a good question. That's a good question. I never really considered that. Maybe I should. In this day and age, we should consider what Head is as a person, but we'll have to ask.
I know at one point, Al Snow's figure, I think, was recalled from Walmart stores because somebody they said, I don't know, somebody made a stink and said that, he's cutting off women's heads and then parading them around, and that's what his whole gimmick was. So they had to recall his figure from Walmart.
Which I guess
so
is
according
fair,
to them, I guess it
would yeah, I don't know, but whatever the case is, it was working, and I mean, Al Snow's he's a good wrestler. He was there early days ECW. He had a match with Chris Benoit that was just randomly like an awesome match, and just never really found a character until this, but it fits ECW so perfectly where the crowd participation is such a big thing and the ridiculous characters are so like praised and everybody's into them. So we're just fresh off of BWO. I mean, the Dudleys, the like New Jack, like all these like outlandish characters, I think Head and all the puns and whatnot fit in so well. But also, let's not glaze over. This is the debut of Amish Roadkill as well on this show in ECW.
Not know that.
It is a different look than what a lot of people probably think of Amish Road. Here how would you describe his aesthetic here, Amish Road?
He seemed grungy to me. Maybe that's not the right word to use. But it was like cut off jeans kind of thing,
all
going
black.
On, all black. Didn't give me Amish vibes. I've been to Pennsylvania. He did not give me Amish vibes.
I think he was just billed as Roadkill, to be fair. So maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe he's not yet Amish. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's his progression.
Okay. That's a heck of a progression there. I actually liked Amish Roadkill back in the day when I was watching in the 90s. I can't really tell you why that is, but I liked his gimmick for some reason.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway.
The match itself, I mean, it was a short match. It's a showcase for Al Snow. It's more about the entrance and the post match, honestly. It was originally supposed to be Al Snow versus Paul Diamond, but Paul Diamond was injured, so Roadkill was the replacement. But Paul Diamond is still ringside, as well as Madam Chastity, some lass out there with them, and they all get involved, and they all get hit with the snow plow from Al Snow one by one, and then the win comes when Al Snow goes to the top rope with a head butt to Roadkill for the 1, 2, 3, and head makes the pin, actually, technically. But Al Snow and Head get the win here, and just the whole package, the entrance, the dancing, the heads shaking in the crowd, and then Al says, what does he say? He says, "Why don't you all give me a little head?" And then the ring gets flooded with foam heads. I mean, it's just perfectly ECW. I thought this was.
I will say it's a lost opportunity, though, that they didn't end up becoming a tag team. Because what did Amish Roadkill, when he became Amish, it was always chickens or whatever he did. And you could have had a team, Chicken Head. Bok, Bok, Chicken Head. Would have been a great tag team.
All right. Anyways, so, yeah, the studio audience doesn't like it. I don't know. I don't control them. That's, I mean, that's not that incredible, but you know what is just incredible. Accompanied by Jason Knight and Nicole Bass versus the Great Sasuke. Man. Can you guys describe Nicole Bass for the listeners?
In my notes, I have absolute monster. I forgot how I'll use the word imposing. I forgot how imposing good old Nicole Bass was. Dear God in heaven. I'm watching this thing and I'm like, holy fuck. Like, She was bigger than everybody in the ring.
She was the tallest person in the ring. Yes, I had that exact note. She is a robust gal.
She is certainly robust in all of the wrong ways. But yeah, holy mackerel, man. I guess, like, she went on. I feel like this was early on in her tenure in ECW.
Yeah, she just debuted recently. I guess I don't know if you guys are Howard Stern guys, but apparently she was a reoccurring character on Howard Stern. Just see for the time, there's just a loose tie-in. Yeah,
that tells you right there. They found her on the Howard Stern show, so you already know she passed the airport test.
Yeah, for better or worse. But what honestly, unfortunately, when I think of Nicole Bass, I'm pretty sure that was the first match after Owen Hart passed away. Was Nicole Bass and was it Val Venus versus Jeff Jarrett and Deborah or something?
Wow.
And so that's unfortunately what I think of, because we're still a year and a half away from that. So I don't know if is she like a prominent figure in ECW for a while, or does she go to Michinoku Pro, or like what was the progression of Nicole Bass?
That would be a sight to see.
I mean, Hakushi versus Nicole Bass. Let's book it.
Oh my God, that'll put butts in seats. She was a yeah. Look this up, Gata. She definitely made more. I think she was with ECW probably. I'll go on record as saying up until she went to WWF.
That seems right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. She was there for the entirety of '98 into 1999. So
there we go. That's what
it seemed like she did a lot. I thought she was just there.
Certainly for this match, she was just there. And sadly, ring announcer did not announce her name. I noticed that. Definitely, announced sexiest man alive, Jason, who did not use the last name Knight at that time, evidently, which I forgot about. But yeah, that was a little snub there, unintentional, I'm sure.
Well, I think Jason wanted to introduce Nicole, if you want to call it that. I believe. Do I have a quote here? What did he say? So first of all, they get right into each other's face. They make out a little bit. Jason and Nicole do.
A little bit.
And then Jason says, "All right, Nicole, you can leave now. Get the champagne ready. Later, I'm gonna pour it all over your naked body and lick it off, drop by drop." Thoughts?
Wow. Way to turn it over to us right after that. Holy shit, man.
Any insight? Any analysis on that?
I'm speechless. Scott?
I had to pause it for a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, I bet, right? You had to go to the bathroom for a second.
And
Yeah.
Then came back and
seat up.
Seat up?
Seat up.
Oh, are you saying seat or seed?
Seat.
Oh, I thought that's what you called it. I'm gonna go seat up real quick.
Brother. Yeah.
Easy. Easy, Tim. All right. Anyways. Yeah. Where do we even go from there? So we got the great Sasuke here, weirdly, among all of this. Taking on Just Incredible. So Just Incredible, still relatively new to ECW. He made his name by getting an upset win over the great Sasuke a few weeks ago on ECW TV. And now we have the rematch here to see if old Sasuke can get his revenge, but don't know if that quite happened. But as far as the match goes, up to this point, maybe the best match of the show. Up to this point, maybe not a great, not like a 5-star barn burner, but I thought this was solid. What would you guys think about it?
I'd say so. I mean, the great Sasuke, and I swear I used to call him, I don't know, in WWF if they called him, did they call him Sasuke or was he Sasuke? I don't know. I always called him
Jim Ross. Jim Ross called him Sasuke because
so that's how I would always call him that. And I remember when they brought him in '97 in WWF, it was like they put him over as like the biggest thing in the world. So obviously high expectations for him when he's coming in here. And then they like this time period ECW, they would put over how young Just Incredible was on commentary like crazy. They kept saying 23-year-old Just Incredible, 23-year-old Just Incredible, which is like blows my mind because that means he was Aldo Montoya at like the age of like 20, I guess. So it's crazy to me, like this young group that's in ECW in this era. Surprisingly enough, I noticed the DVD cover, or maybe it was the VHS at the time, I guess, but the cover for this actually is the credible Sasuke on that match is on the cover of it, when you would think it's not really. I guess it's match number 2, even though it's like whatever. What is this? The 4th match on the card, 5th match on the card. So it's just surprising to me that match is the one that's like on the DVD cover. But yeah, overall great match, I feel.
Yeah, I think I thought that too. I thought it was a bit strange, but I guess maybe that highlights the international nature of the show. You got like an ECW guy versus a guy from Japan, so maybe they wanted to highlight that. But yeah, no, the match is good. I mean, a hot start by Sasuke, a crazy dive to the outside, a couple of them. But then there's one where Sasuke goes and Justin moves, and Sasuke goes knee first into the concrete, and then at that point, it's a bunch of knee breakers and stuff from Just Incredible. Even Pillmanizes Sasuke with a chair shot to the chair with Sasuke's ankle inside of it. And Sasuke's he's hobbling, he's fighting back, he's trying to get back into it. He goes for a Phoenix Splash, but Credible moves, and Sasuke goes knee first into the mat, and then Justin takes advantage with That's Incredible, the spinning tombstone for the 1, 2, 3. So Just Incredible now 2-0 against the great Sasuke here, which I mean, if you want to get a young guy over, I guess, beating a big international name is a good way to do it. So thought it was pretty effective, if nothing else.
For sure. I thought solid match, methodical pace to it. Now, it was Sasuke, was he the shoot owner of Michinoku Pro?
Is a wonderful question.
Something in my head tells me that he was.
Oh boy, how do you spell Michinoku? Okie dokie. Let's see here.
Spell check did not nail it for me.
You are correct. He founded Michinoku Pro in 1992. Look at the big brain on Tim.
Oh man, I know. Looks can be deceiving.
That's why he's part of the Yamaguchi-san Sword Company tribute team.
Oh yes, of course.
We are formidable foes for anyone out there in trivia land. But yeah, I thought it was a good, solid match. And ending, guys, post-match beatdown with Jason. And then, I know we kind of alluded to it earlier on in the broadcast here. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, damn right. Gran Hamada makes his return back to the ring to help out fellow Michinoku Pro owner, the great Sasuke. And locker room pours out. We get another kind of injury angle here, similar to what they had earlier with Candido. And it looked like a neck. Again, not sure if that was... I rewound it to see if I could tell. Was this a work? Was this a shoot? Tough for me to tell. It didn't... Nothing jumped out at me. But, they put the neck brace on him. I mean, it definitely looked pretty serious.
Yeah, I guess it's just trying to get over that that's incredible maneuver. Because I, like you, I was like, is that legit? But I didn't see anything that would suggest that it was a legit neck injury. But yeah, I guess it's just incredible versus Japan is what they're going with.
Yeah.
What was wild to me though is while they're putting the gimmick, on and on the stretcher, like the music is just playing the whole time. Like there's no stop of the music. So I just found that odd that during that was going on. But anyway.
I weirdly thought that was kind of that added a nice touch to it almost. It's like, I don't know, it was the just incredible show and he was dominating everybody and it was in line with ECW with like the New Jack music and the Metallica or whatever. So I kind of dug it. I feel like Just Incredible came out looking pretty good out of this, if nothing else. So,
and I know there was a deliberate effort by Paulie to make Just Incredible look credible. Nice, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because obviously coming off of the Aldo Montoya gimmick, which was a goofy ass gimmick, really wasn't ever taken seriously in WWF. So as a part of his repackage, considering they were pushing him as such a badass, there was definitely that effort to try to get Justin over pretty strong there, which he did. I would say, and you could definitely see that as the year rolls around here, and continues it.
Yeah, I mean that last year or two of ECW, I mean that was all Just Incredible. So planting seeds here, Sure. But before that, we got another match on our hands here. We got Bam Bam Bigelow versus Rob Van Dam. My goodness, of course. RVD accompanied by Bill Alfonso, who is introduced as the senior vice president of extreme affairs for the WWF, which I was unfamiliar with this role of his.
Nor was I, and I didn't even catch. I mean, some of the audio on this was tough, man. I mean, I think the majority of my time I was rewinding and going back and forth just to try to pick up some of the audio there. But that's interesting. I did not actually hear that.
Yeah, it's a good bit of lore here to this package at RVD, Mr. Monday Night, still kind of representing WWF and going against Bam Bam Bigelow, who just lost the ECW title to Shane Douglas at November to Remember. So he's trying to get himself back in the title picture, I would think. Bam Bam versus RVD. I looked at this on the card and I was like, this is going to be really good. I like this matchup. And I think that it was solid. This match is a little clunky to me. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but that was my main takeaway with this. Yeah,
I didn't have a ton of notes on it. Obviously, RVD got all his spots in throughout the match. I was a big RVD mark back in the late 90s, especially during his TV title run with ECW. So that was one of my favorite guys back when I was a young man. So I always have a soft spot for him. But I would agree with you, Kyle. I think it was a little clunky is probably the best way to say it.
What about you, Scott? What'd you think of this bad boy?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this would be after like the Candido Lynn match. I thought this would be like the next best one, but I mean, it wasn't hitting on all cylinders. But I mean, overall, the crowd participation. I guess any Bam Bam match, you're gonna have the crowd chanting over here, because they just want to get RVD thrown on them. But you could tell the crowd, like, at this point, it's like they really wanted to love RVD. He's just the asshole that went to WWF or whatever and is playing that route. But I know it wouldn't be too long after where I think he transitioned to the babyface. He'd have that legendary TV title match. So, but other than that, I would just say, yeah, great match. Except I was wondering why, like, obviously every Fonzie match that he's there for, you're going to have the whistle going off the whole match, right? But there's like points where he's like in the ring, like for really no reason. Like, I don't know, other than just to be like extra annoying. It's like, why is Fonzie in the ring right now? Come on.
I think that comes with his role of senior vice president of extreme affairs for the WWF. I think that's kind of, it's kind of the role. It's kind of involved in that. But yeah, a lot of Fonzie in this one. Also, a lot of guardrail shenanigans, as per our earlier comments there. A lot of guardrail stuff. A lot of whatever head scissors into the guardrails. You got the classic RVD like jumping off the apron into a guy that's crotched under the guardrail. A lot of that. More dives into the crowd, which it felt like every match had that. So it was a bit of diminishing returns a little bit, but it was better than Jerry Lynn's attempt, though, I guess. So there's that.
That's true.
There was one point in this match where I think the idea was that RVD was going to throw the chair at Bam Bam, but the ref was going to get in the way and take a Van Daminator. But what happened is that Bam Bam caught the chair. RVD kicks the chair in Bam Bam's hand, but then the ref takes a bump anyways. So a little bit of that clunkiness, but it's the charm of ECW, I guess.
If you were sitting on the other side, you would have thought it was a ref bump, right? But because of where hard camera was coming in, it was, clunky.
Tough. But then, man, a lot of tomfoolery here at the end here. So these guys are going at it. Chris Candido comes back out to attack Bam Bam Bigelow because Bam Bam just got kicked out of the triple threat. Chris Candido's a part of the triple threat, so Candido's out there to beat up Bam Bam, but he just gets pile driven by Bammer, and then Sonny comes out, which I didn't expect. WWF diva Sonny coming out, of course, the Chris Candido tie-in or whatever. So not fucking Vince here. She comes out and gets in Bam Bam's face, and then Bam Bam grabs her. Goes to pile drive Sonny. But then Francine comes out. Now, I have a lot of questions here. What the hell was Francine wearing?
Not much. Scott told me after the fact that there was a dress on her. I thought for sure, I mean, maybe I was, not looking clearly, but I thought we only had some bra and panties going on. But apparently there was a dress in there somewhere. Definitely showing off her assets, though, I will say.
Because she was trying to cover it when she was up on Bam Bam's shoulders.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's the old school wrestling fan in me or the longtime wrestling fan, but I just feel like so it was like they're having the match, Candido comes in, Sonny comes in, Francine comes in, but it's like, oh man, I'm gonna sound so old, but it's like I sound like a bitter wrestling veteran, but like they don't really give the time for the moments to breathe. It's like Candido comes in,
sure,
and like before you know it, just Bam Bam just squashes him, and then it's like immediately, like there's Sonny's there, and then boom, Francine's there. So it's just like, I don't know. To me, it feels like the moments don't breathe. But then again, ECW, they're paying for every second, I think, of the television show. So they're like, I mean, it's pre-recorded though, so I mean, they can edit it afterwards. But we all know Barely Legal, right? The first pay-per-view, which was whatever, 10 months earlier or 9 months earlier, right? They said if they would have went on for like 30 more seconds, they would have lost power. So I don't know. It just seems like everything is, I don't know, too quick. But, that's the bitter old wrestling fan in me, I guess.
Some may say it's extreme.
Hit the button.
Perhaps if that's what they're...
Right. Damn it.
Let's see
Hit
here.
the button.
Yeah, thank you. But no, yeah, it's a lot going on here. It's very bam, bam, bam. With no pun intended. But after Francine gets put on the shoulders of Bammer, the franchise comes out. Shane Douglas to save the day. A low blow to Bam Bam Bigelow, and franchise. He's wearing a franchise 469 shirt. Obviously playing off of Austin 316. So is he saying that he's like 469, like he's pro 69? Is that what that means, or is there another meaning behind it?
I always took that as like it's for a 69 with Francine.
Done.
Sure.
Done.
Or just in general with anybody, maybe. Just for the position itself. I like it. While all this is going on, everybody's getting knocked all over the place, and then RVD takes advantage of the distraction with a flying kick off the top rope to Bam Bam Bigelow, knocks him out, and then a 5-star frog splash for the win. So RVD gets to win here, and it was a fun kind of chaotic type of deal here. I think I might have had higher expectations for it. I don't know if these guys wrestle again down the line. I'd be surprised if they didn't. But there were some fun pieces to this. I think it's just the overall puzzle left a little bit to be desired, but it is extreme though. So maybe I should expect it. Any other nuggets on that one?
I was a little taken aback to see Candido come back in for the run-in here, because when that match ended earlier in the card and Candido's elbow, to me, I mean, Damage Control, I think was in the ring for that one too. It looked like, real ginger. I mean, credit to Candido for the sell job, I guess. But man, I thought we had a legit injury going on there with him. And come to find out, another rabbit hole I went down with this one. Apparently he tore his bicep on October 10th of the previous year. So of 1997, October 10th, tore his bicep, which is astonishing that he's in the ring again, working matches. What is that, 3-4 months later?
Yeah, with the big brace on, but yeah, still. That's
why he tapped out. So
pretty impressive.
A couple months layoff, yeah.
Yeah, maybe not.
Exactly. It all ties together. That's why he got squashed immediately, because he only had one arm. So it all makes sense when you really think about it, or when you don't think about it at all. So
right. So surprised to see him back in there. I'm trying to save the day, but other than that, thought solid match, but just lacking something a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. They had something, but maybe they'll build off that in the future. But until then, so that was the end. So this show is in 2 parts. At least where I found it, it was in 2 parts. I don't know if it was like a double VHS situation or what, but or if it was just like intermission maybe. But it does cut back to Joey Styles in the ring. This seems like the beginning of the show. I don't know if they just took pieces from the beginning and put it in the back half or what, but Joey Styles is in the ring, welcoming everybody to ECW. And I mean, a lot of energy from the crowd, big ECW chants. You got all the heads in the crowd, very electric atmosphere. And then Joey Styles introduces Taz, who comes out, the TV champion, and a lot going on here. So Taz comes out, and as he's starting to speak, Lance Wright comes out, former announcer for ECW, turned now just heel dickhead. He's been aligned, Lance. He's been aligned with Brakkus. You guys familiar with Brakkus?
Sadly.
I don't.
God, speaking of houses, that man was a walking condominium. Holy crap. He was juiced to the gills, brother.
Hey, allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
I go pro.
You gotta want it, man. So he really not a very memorable career in WWF from my recollection. And then I come to find out during this cross-promotional WWF ECW thing, WWF sent Brakkus over to ECW to get some seasoning. Because
what kind of seasoning was that?
Not the good kind. So he was definitely a greenhorn here, and he apparently didn't learn much. Certainly not in this segment did he learn anything that he could take back to WWF. That's for sure.
If Brakkus was just like a little bit good, like not even like good, but like competent, like Lex Luger, for example, not great, but he looks good. And Brakkus, I think, even looks better than Lex Luger does. So if Brakkus could put together a few things, he would have been something. But couldn't. So no, fuck him, I guess.
He was nothing.
But Lance comes out. He's like, my guy's backstage, alluding to Brakkus. He's bench. I couldn't really tell what he was saying. I think he was saying that he was backstage bench pressing or something. I guess he just does that in the locker room. I don't know, but he says that Lance says that he went and talked to his mommy, and his mommy said that Lance, you need to move on from this Taz business because Taz and Lance have been going back and forth for a while. The pit bulls were involved. It was a whole thing. So apparently Lance's mommy, there's a lot of lore here. Lance's mommy bought him some old ECW tapes for comedic effect. And Lance stumbled upon a show, House Party 96, where a certain man won a TV title. And he also watched a show from 1995 where that same man broke Taz's neck. Of course, this man, Too Cold Scorpio. And Lance said, well, he found that man, and now he's here. So out comes Flash Funk from the WWF, comes to the ring, not with the whole get up, not with the hat and the jumpsuit. It's pretty much Too Cold Scorpio with the same music and whatever. Comes to the ring, and I guess to challenge Taz. So now we got a match here. Joey begins the ring introductions, and he starts to say Flash Funk, but Scorpio stops him, and he makes him introduce him as Too Cold Scorpio, which was interesting because the crowd was very anti this fella when he came out. There was big "You sold out" chants. There was boos. But then once he was introduced as Too Cold Scorpio, and all of a sudden was "Welcome back" chants. So it was so funny how that switched pretty much immediately. Well, what do you guys make of this whole I guess intro to this match here? Any thoughts?
Well, yeah, no Funkettes.
Any thoughts on
But I do want to take it back. This definitely had to be the beginning of the show, even though it was. This is part 2. Like you said, like everybody had the heads, but when Al Snow's match was done, I think all the heads ended up in the ring, right? So this had to have been the actual start of the show. And then the crowd was chanting "Fuck New York."
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why. I don't know if there was a New York show the week before or coming up the next week or something, but I swear the crowd was chanting "Fuck New York." You would never get this other than this like unedited version we watched, but like Taz, he called that guy Mr. Right. He called him a cocksucker. He called him a cunt ass. Like it was only in ECW are you going to get this, and there's no bleeps or nothing. Yeah, it was crowd. Yes, very welcoming to Too Cold Scorpio being back. I don't think did we even see Flash Funk much longer in WWF after that. I know he went back as Too Cold Scorpio. I think the Job Squad in that era, so he's probably going back and forth between ECW and WWF. But yeah, it was definitely and that one show that me and Tim went to at the ECW arena actually had a Too Cold Scorpio match. So it was great to see him in this light. The match we saw, it was Too Cold Scorpio against Kenny from the Spirit Squad, believe it or not. But with Too Cold Scorpio, you get he pulls out all sorts of moves and flips, and they don't always land flush. We saw Kenny Dykstra get his nose busted open on like a flip leg drop. Right. And then I think the same could be said for this match. I know that at one point Scorpio does a moonsault, and I think like, I don't know, whoever he did it to, I think was Mr. Right at the end. Yeah, he like, it just looked like he did a moonsault and just kicked him in the face, pretty much.
Potato.
Yeah, I gotta give it up.
Yeah, it was I mean, Taz versus Too Cold Scorpio, it's pretty much what you would expect. You got a little bit of Taz dumping Scorp on his head with some suplexes. Scorpio does hit some pretty nice top rope moves to Taz, at least. A perfect moonsault to Taz, a beautiful 450. But ultimately his flash came to bite him because he goes for a twisting stinger splash in the corner, but gets caught right into the Taz mission and a pretty quick tap out. So Taz retains his title. I don't even know if this is a title match, but he beats Scorpio here. Kind of a quick match, but it was fun for what it was. And then you have fucking Doug Furnace coming out, who's representing WWF, and he's attacking Scorpio because Scorpio turned his back on the Fed, I guess. And then Scorpio's fun. Ultimately, Taz comes back to defend Scorpio. He respects Scorpio for going by Scorpio, not Flash Funk. And Brakkus is out here at some point. He gets shit canned immediately. So it's like, what can you do, Brakkus? Really, you can't just be a good bodyguard and let's just take out little Taz. All those muscles can't do shit, Brakkus, or whatever you're going by here.
It's good at leg presses. Good at bench press and leg presses.
Is he even good at leg presses? Well, what are the legs looking like on Brakkus?
Oh God, I didn't look low enough, but I think that that Lance said he was doing a leg press in the back. I think he dropped 800 and something. I do recall that when I was watching this 800, which if that's a bench press, man, that's beyond impressive. So I'm gonna, I think, go with leg press for 800 and something. I don't know if we can dig up a transcript here of exactly what Mr. Wright said. But he definitely touted some type of bodybuilding statistic in there.
I'm looking at Brakkus's bodybuilding pictures, and yeah, he's got some legs on him. So all due respect to what is his name? H-M. It's some German name. So he's got legs on him. In case that was unclear for the audience, everybody's up to speed.
Stick with us here, Kyle.
But yeah, no, it's a Taz and Scorpio stand tall. War Machine's playing through all the brouhaha at the end with everybody fighting each other. Cool little deal here. Seeing Scorpio come back to ECW as pretty much his former self. And Taz comes out looking like a badass. So no harm, no foul here, I thought. Any other thoughts on that one?
Do we know if this was a one and done for Scorpio? I wasn't able to
good question.
Figure that out. I mean, even if it was a one and done, right, it still plays into the talent exchange they were doing. And I thought the whole thing came off pretty good, personally. It was cool to see Too Cold back at that time. You kind of almost have to like put yourself in that era, or at least try to while you're watching it. And for the fans that were there, I mean, that crowd is, pretty close. I mean, there was a lot of the same people that would go to these shows every week. I think this House Party 98 was like episode 246 and 247 of Hardcore TV. So, these guys, they would go to Philly, South Philly every week, man, to watch the show. So they were probably the most invested fans I've seen in my years and years of watching wrestling. I mean, that, I know it's been said before, but that audience was fucking loyal.
I mean, they arguably made ECW what it was. Like, if you're watching, like, because the November to Remember, I don't think it was Philly, it was somewhere else, and there was a couple matches on that show where the crowd was just dead. Like, we're watching Sabu and Sandman beat the shit out of each other to silence. It's like, if it was just that every week, ECW wouldn't have been anything. But the rabid Philly fan base made it a co-op, especially with all the participation stuff at the head and things like that. Like, the fans were as big a part of it as the wrestlers, really.
For sure. Yeah, it was cool, that whole interaction. Because as a fan, I mean, not that I unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to attend in the late 90s. My mother did ask me if she wanted, she's like, "Do you want me to take you to an ECW event?" I said, "Fuck no, Mom. I respect you way too much." She's a saint, brother. She's an absolute saint, and I would never in a million years do that to her. despite the fact that I really wanted to go to an ECW show.
You might have had to make her take the bullet. I mean, you might have had people yell and show your tits at her, but like you would have gotten to see Sandman. You know what I mean?
My mother. Oh my God. Yeah.
She's a saint. Mrs. Slice, she's a saint.
Mrs. Slice, yeah. Yes. Yes, she is, man. And probably still couldn't say that if she did in fact attend an ECW event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably good that it played out.
Probably for the best, yes. And to your earlier question, Scorpio did have a stint late 99, early 2000 in ECW. But I think for this, I think it's a while before he comes back, because he does go back. He's still with the WWF. He does start going by Scorpio and WWF. So Flash Funk, I think, is dead. But yeah, he's Job Squad bound. So he's pretty much done, really. But that brings us to... We got another 6-man tag match on our hands, gentlemen. But we got a ways to go before we get to the match itself, because the Dudleys come out. And, man, where does this... I mean, the classic intro with Joel Gertner and whatnot. Where does this intro, the shtick, whatever you want to call it, where does it rank for you guys? Do you like it? Do you like the Joel Gertner, the introducing all of the individual guys and all of their nicknames and whatnot? Were you a fan of this?
Oh, yeah, I think it's great. I mean, when they first come out, sorry to cut you off, Tim, but the crowd just loves to get into it with the Dudleys. I mean, I know what did Bubba yell at him, or Devon? They're just dropping F-bombs at the crowd, at the audience, like nothing. And it's like, you know, I remember a couple years later in this time period, WCW, you just go front row so you can jaw jack with Scott Steiner. ECW, you go there to get underneath Bubba Ray Dudley's skin, and he'll probably spit in your face or whatever. But whatever, you know, you're marking out. So, but yeah, and then the intros. I mean, the Devon intro was great. Whatever Joel Gertner says, the chiseled and jacked, like. I loved every bit of it. It was great.
Perfect. The super cruiserweight champion, Devon Dudley, allegedly. So yeah, it was all good.
Speaking of 90 pounds,
Sonny Bono reference in there.
Something like that. Yeah. And Devon, you said they're dropping all the F-bombs and whatnot. It was Devon coming out there. It was fuck you, motherfuckers, suck my dick, bitch, whatever. But then he starts yelling at the crowd something where they mute it. So what is the line here? What could he have possibly said? Because it was like, it was a response to, like, they were chanting "you fat fuck," and then Devon goes, "your mother, bitch," and then he turns back to the crowd and starts saying something, and then they mute the audio. What do you guys think they said? Or he said?
I can't ever remember a time in ECW when it was muted during that time. So this had to be absolutely horrid. Whatever he said was just vile and disgusting and probably involved people's families. Or I don't even know, man. Like, it had to have been really bottom of the barrel for them to mute it. I'm curious if we can ever find, I didn't do any looking, but I'm real curious if we can find out what the fuck he said there. Because he said some bad shit, like he said before that. And I was just like, no, we won't bleep that out. You know, but it was whatever he said during that. And it was an extended, like, mute, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Scott? If you could do your best Devon Dudley impression, what do you think he said?
Like, if they muted it, it has to be bad. Like, he probably had to say something like, I don't know, like, I'm going to come out there and rape your mother or something. Like, that's like, what else could you possibly say in ECW that would get muted when we've talked about everything else?
Oh, and those are the words from the Stiff Shot pod, everybody.
That was a stiff shot, brother, right there.
No, that was a stiff shot. Very stiff. Honestly, though, you're probably not wrong. It probably was along those lines. There might have been like a retard in there or something. I don't know. But
when this part gets clipped, I'm just gonna have to. We're gonna have to context it, okay?
Nope. I have that. It's on my hard drive now that I could use however I want. So
something tells me it's not getting clipped. Okay.
So, but yes, the Gertner grabs the mic, thank God, and he calls back to the FBI from earlier. He says that they're full of shit. The Dudleys are the rightful 6-man champions because they beat the FBI, which makes sense, lineage, but maybe it wasn't a non-title match. A lot of questions, but go to the Silence of the Violent, Sign Guy Dudley, Michael P.S. Big Dick Dudley. They're making a lot of 6-man references here. Bubba turns to the crowd and says, but blow me, motherfucker, which is fun. And and then we get a little match on our hands here. You call them the Little Spike Gangstonators come out. We got Spike Dudley, New Jack, and John Cronus coming out to take on Big Dick Dudley, Bubba Dudley, and D-Von Dudley. And it is a New Jack match. If you've seen a New Jack match before, this is what it is. The music playing, the weapons, the trash cans. But as far as a New Jack match goes, it was pretty much what you expect. I don't know. What'd you guys make of this?
Yeah, for sure. It was chaotic, as all New Jack matches are. I will say, for those fans that have watched some old ECW on, Scott and I were talking earlier that we started watching some old ECW back when the WWE network first came about, right? So it was like cool to kind of, once we first got that network, kind of reminisce there and be like, okay, like what was going on back in, let's just say 98, right? To throw some of those on. Then on Peacock, they had some stuff going on. I was struggling to find hardcore TV episodes because I kind of wanted to like go back in 97 and watch a little bit to kind of see what the buildup was to this house party, right? But my point here is that New Jack's music played the whole fucking time. And I was just like, yeah, man. Because when you watch that shit on the network, it's a dub theme. So you didn't hear that Natural Born Killers. And like, I remember back in the day, I got to a point where I was like, God, this is fucking annoying. Like hearing this theme the whole entire match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
But actually hearing it now for the first time in years and years and years, I was like, oh my God, I had that feeling of nostalgia during that matchup. So that's what I took away.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you think about it, Scott?
So speaking on that theme though, I remember the track, it's called In the Ghetto. That's the dub theme. But most dub themes on the network, they were all garbage because you wanted to hear the original. Now, I'm not saying it's as good as Natural Born Killers, but I liked that dub theme. That dub theme was a dub for me, all right?
It's not bad.
But love New Jack matches, always great. I will say the 3D. Oh, there goes my booze. The 3D, the most protected finisher, I'd say, in ECW. I think only one person ever kicked out of the 3D. And then, as you'll say, in this match goes on, it's like it took a lot, like kind of variations of the 3D that got to only a 2 count before ultimately, a 3D put the fork in Cronus. But and Cronus, man, what a big man to be doing like 450s and shit, like. The Gangstonators, man.
Yeah.
What a tandem. Because at this point, I don't even know what was going on with Mustafa Saeed. I don't know if he was in trouble with the law or something.
I think he's gone
or
at this point. Yeah,
he was in jail.
Okay, and then Saturn was in WCW. I think at this point, right? Raven's Flock or whatever. So
yeah.
It was an interesting happenstance, I guess, to form the Gangstonators. So. Overall, I thought it was, classic ECW match. Like,
and even Sign Guy takes a 450 from Cronus. That was pretty cool to see. And real quick, going back to Gertner, his exact line in this was, Joel, harder than the tree that hit Sonny Bono Gertner. And now I know you're a little young, Kyle, but back when
please freshen me up. Yeah,
Sonny and Cher, man, were like, they were fucking huge in this country. And when Sonny died, I'll remember it. It was just, and he died in a skiing accident, sadly. And I may or may not have worked in the ski industry, so this one, of course, hit close to home.
Sure. This is your fault.
This is all my fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He skied into a tree, and passed away. So I have a feeling it was right around this time. Of course, way to get heat there, Gertner, by playing off of a man's demise.
That's a crazy, a guy that got killed and you're using it in a wrestling. That's wild, but I guess it worked.
Yeah, because there was a lot. I don't know if this was early on in the Gertner shtick, but he had some fucking gems out there. I mean, some of that stuff, I just remember watching it. I'm like, oh my, like, I can't believe he fucking said that. So this was almost mild in comparison to some of the intro promos he's cut in the past. But nonetheless, entertaining contest. And I couldn't believe the fan interaction, man, between Bubba and the fans in the beginning. Like, there was legit physical contact. Like I know, okay, this is ECW, right? So it's like, okay, it's chaos to begin with, but that shit wouldn't fly in the 2000s, man.
He was throwing chairs at the barricade. Like, yeah, he was getting in there.
Yeah, I was like astonished to see how much physicality there was. Yeah, he flipped his hat off there.
You don't do that.
And by the way, I just looked up.
He even had a hat
Sonny
on
Bono. He passed away 5 days before this show.
Oh, wow.
Damn. Rest in peace, Bones.
Too soon,
Damn.
As they say. Too soon.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I suppose. So, but yeah, a lot of heat to this one. The music, I mean, the backdrop of Natural Born Killers in the back. It's the classic stuff. You got crutches. There's a telephone in the ring. There's cheese graters, as you do. Fighting all over the arena. There's Cronus is gushing blood. I don't even know what happened, but he's bleeding all over the place. Spike with a couple running bull. The acid drop is a cutter, right? Not the bulldog version. Are you guys familiar? His finisher, the Dudley Dog.
Is that the? I was thinking are you talking about the backdrop into the neck breaker, like the tandem kind of reverse 3D?
Or Spike Dudley's move, where he takes the guy in the corner and runs up the corner, and then because he was doing the bulldog variant here, which I don't think is a Dudley Dog. It's a Stratisfaction situation.
I'm not sure now.
Perhaps these are the questions. These are the questions we need to ask. Is really where I'm getting at. But
sliced bread, or am I thinking of something different?
It's close. This is more just like a loaf of bread, maybe. I don't know. It's of the same genre. It's of the same genus.
Piece of Wonder
we'll have to
sourdough.
Wonder bread. That is. Ooh, yeah. Spike Dudley is a piece of sourdough when you really think about it. But Cronus is a big old piece of pumpernickel because he hits a couple of beautiful 450s. One to Dick, 450 to Dick. 450 to Sign Guy, goes for one on Joel Gertner.
Oh,
but Bubba,
I was hoping.
Everyone was. Bubba gets it, and I like this because he didn't. Modern day people will just jump off the top rope into a cutter, and it looks weird and goofy and cooperated. But the way they did it here, Cronus is on the top rope, Bubba's in the middle of the ring, pointing at him, flipping him off, like, "Don't you do that!" So Cronus jumps at him. But then Bubba catches them into a Bubba cutter, and ultimately they hit the 3D, the front-facing 3D, onto Cronus for the 1-2-3. And I love the abrupt music stop once the pin is made. And by the way, we should say that New Jack was handcuffed during most of this match to the top rope by Sign Guy, and they're ganging up on him. And Spike's a little piece of shit, so he was no help either. So it's pretty much just Cronus 3-on-1, and he fell to the doodlies here. And so yeah, I guess the rightful 6-man champions get the win here, folks. But you know,
trophy.
classic ECW.
Yeah, just no bowling trophy.
Yeah, I guess they could buy one if they wanted to for probably like $5, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe we'll get that down the line. But any other thoughts on that before we get to the main event, fellas?
I think I'm good. I think we covered most of it. Again, wish Gertner would have taken that 450, but hopefully in the future he ends up taking one. We'll have to keep watching.
Yes, we'll have to tune into Hardcore TV this Saturday at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. to see. So
on your local MSG network, yes.
Yes. But before that, we got ourselves a Stairway to Hell match. The main event of the show, the Sandman versus Sabu. Hey, Scott, what's a Stairway to Hell match?
So I guess, I had to watch it to really find out. But I don't, the concept is ridiculous. So there's a wrap of barbed wire at the top. So you have to use a ladder to get the barbed wire. If you get it, you're able to use it. Although in this match, wouldn't say the person that necessarily got it was the first to use it. But since it's ECW and there's no rules anyway, who's to say I can't just have a roll of barbed wire underneath the ring and then I could just use that and just not have to worry about using the ladder? That was totally like a painter's ladder. Mind. It wasn't like a standard ladder for a ladder match. That was definitely a painter's ladder because it had the little gimmick to hold the can of paint on it on the other side.
Yes.
So I guess that's a Stairway to Hell match in a nutshell. I don't know how many of them there were in ECW, but at least for this night, yeah, you and there was that's the stakes for the ladder. There's no title. There's nothing. It's just barbed wire that you can use. That's right. Am I wrong?
Right. Yes. Yeah. I thought like whoever grabbed the barbed wire won the match. But to your point, it's really just it's the equivalent of like a something on a pole match. It's a sledgehammer on a pole. Whoever gets the sledgehammer can use it, but then ultimately anybody can use it. So like, what's the incentive? Like, there's no incentive to climb the ladder and grab the barbed wire because once it's down, anybody can use it. To your point, so dumb concept. So these guys had a match a few months before this at November to Remember. It was a tables and ladders match, so it was the same thing minus the wreath of barbed wire hanging from the ceiling.
And Kyle, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt you here. I got to watch the Hardest Promotion 1997 year in review, which I just completed the other day. I'm sorry I'm stealing your thunder, but it was a long one. Yep. But very enjoyable, man. And I love the concept. I just want to say that. The points concept and all that good stuff. But I was just going to say I wanted to preface this whole match conversation right now by saying you rated that Sandman and Sabu match as the worst match of 1997, and yet here we are in January of 98 with the same two guys. So I just want to
try it again.
Try it again. If at first you don't succeed.
And that was that's kind of what I was referencing earlier. This doing it to silence because I think they were like in Pittsburgh or something, and they just didn't have the match wasn't good. No matter who the crowd was. And I did a little bit more digging on it. Apparently Sandman, shocker, was blasted during that match. He was just drunk as all hell, which made a lot of the spots that he tried make sense to me. So, but it did not make a good match. It was that November to Remember match. It was slower than this. It was botchier than this. The energy wasn't there. It just didn't flow well. And yeah, it was just two Mount Rushmore ECW guys. There's a lot of expectations to it, and November to Remember was the biggest show they had to that point. So all of that kind of went into my thinking of dubbing that the worst match of the year. Now I went into this match being like, oh boy, how could it be any worse? I guess. But coming out of it, I kind of liked it. This was a solid match. This is what that match I think should have been in November, this match. And I think I think it literally is them just doing it again because now they're in the ECW arena. Sandman is a little less drunk here.
Still a bit sauced up from what I can tell.
Well, you got to be a little sauced up, a little seasoning. I mean, just the honestly, I think the whole point of the barbed wire was to just have that visual in the beginning, which was insane. You have Sandman coming out. He climbs to the top of the ladders during the entrances. He has a kendo stick in one hand, a beer in one hand. He has a cigarette in his mouth. He's on top of this ladder that's like 3 feet from the ceiling. And there's a thing of barbed wire hanging by his head. Like just an insane visual. But then Sabu comes out and they begin to have a match. And again, I thought this was it was a fun ECW showcase. Crowd seemed to be into it. A bit of stuff going on at the end here, which we'll get into, but I mean, a lot of spots to get into. Any spots in particular about this match stick out to you, fellas?
Well, definitely no collar and elbow tie-ups to start off this scientific contest.
I don't think so.
No. I again, like I said earlier, like try to place yourself in the arena or in this timeline, right? I think like in retrospect, here we are in 2026 kind of watching this, and now we've gone through the TLC matches at the various WWE shows, and but at this time, you got to remember there was a lot of innovation here. There was a lot of shit that no one had seen prior to this in 97. Maybe the Japan stuff, if you were like, really into wrestling and watching like FMW or something like that, right? But for American fans to see this type of spectacle that we saw here with this matchup, definitely innovative, definitely something new and extreme that hadn't been done before. So I think when you kind of watch the match in that pretext and that context, then you realize, wow, this was, while brutal as fuck, definitely something special with this match. And I think a lot of people would say that it's one of the top matches in ECW history. Arguably, I mean, I know there's a lot of good ones out there, but this is definitely towards the top of that list.
No, I agree, and I'm glad you brought up the TLC stuff because I had a similar thought watching this because there's a point where Sandman he climbs the ladder, grabs the barbed wire, but then Sabu topples the ladder and Sandman goes toppling off the ladder to the outside through some tables. And while it was a pretty sick spot, in my head I was like, oh, he falls off a ladder through tables. Yeah, it happens. But in 1998, this is again pre-TLC. Like that wasn't at all a common thing, especially in North American wrestling. You weren't seeing that really anywhere. So yeah, definitely trendsetters for sure. But I mean, that's ECW in a nutshell.
Yeah, we're just spoiled now, but back then, like that was insanity. Still is, but
yeah, for sure. What about you, Scott? Any spots in particular tickle your pickle?
Innovative, very. You could tell there's no rehearsing, right? Especially the ECW. There's no agents, right? They're just kind of going out there and winging it. And I mean, Sabu, we're going to talk about it, right? Like he's going to like basically fracture his jaw, break his jaw. And we'll get into that. I'll let you lead that way. But yeah, just wild match as you would expect. I mean, when you're expecting barbed wire, tables and ladders in ECW, you're expecting it to get gritty and somebody's going to get hurt. So, and that's the thing with ECW is I don't think there's no padding around ringside. So like it's just tables and concrete. Like that table is going to break your fall a little bit, but you're smashing that concrete. Like it just, and I mean these guys are all probably jacked up on painkillers anyway. But I mean they're whatever. Allegedly. They can
among other things
they can hope for damage control to take care of them. But I mean they're doing it for the love of the game. Like they're not making like millions of dollars for these matches or anything like that, but I mean they're pouring their heart and their soul in it for that crowd and for the brand. They got to give it to them for that, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was I mean, this is ECW in a nutshell. It's brutal. There's blood, there's barbed wire, there's crazy spots and high risk stuff. So yeah, this is everything that a Sabu and Sandman match should be. Even the spots that kind of fly under the radar, like if like Sabu just like throws the ladder at Sandman, but everything just felt so like stiff and like it made sense. Like there was cohesion to this match. Like it was such a stark contrast to their previous match. So there's some good stuff here. People getting thrown through tables and dives into the crowd, and there's a spot here where like Sandman has like a ladder bridged from the ring to the barricade, and then he puts like a table right next to it, and then he puts Sabu on the ladder, and then Sandman leg drops himself through the table to leg drop Sabu on the ladder. I don't think there's a lot of a plan. Again, I don't think there's any agents. I don't think, Tommy Rich is backstage be like, oh, Sandman, you're going to sit up this ladder, you're going to throw him through it. Like, I think it's kind of go out there and just kind of do shit for a while, and then they finish the match when it's time. So, yes. So this match is probably the most, I mean, it's a good match overall, but I think maybe most known for the spot where Sabu goes for a triple jump. So he has the barbed wire. He runs up the chair to the top rope, jumps to the outside to, I guess, smash Sandman with the barbed wire. Sandman moves out of the way. Sabu goes jaw first into the steel barricade, breaks his jaw, and I believe that's what happened. I mean, it's some sort of fracture to his jaw, and you can immediately tell he's holding it. He's like laying in the ring. He can't keep his hand off of it. At some point, Bill Alfonso, who's out there with Sabu, goes and gets tape, and he fucking tapes his jaw shut, which is just metal as hell.
And he's bleeding from the jaw the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely some major damage going on in there.
I mean, he gets smashed in the head with a kendo stick, like stiffly. You guys like a stiff shot. Stiff shot with the kendo stick, and then Sabu doesn't even hold his head. He's still holding his jaw. Like, that's how much pain he's in. But again, Sabu finds scissors at some point, which right
out of the boot, brother. I saw that happen.
I guess. I mean, he's the Sheik tie-in and all that. I guess it makes sense. Runs in the family, but he just starts stabbing Sandman in the face with scissors, casual, keeping it cash. Yeah. So, but yeah, the match keeps going. He's got the fucking tape around his face. The whole roll is hanging from his jaw as he does like a moonsault from the top. This is craziness. Meanwhile, Sandman is just gushing blood. I don't even know really what happened, but he's just gushing blood.
That was one of the bloodiest Sandmans, or anyone else for that matter. It was like, God, I hate to get whatever. You watched the match. It was like thick, man. It was yes. Nasty red, just crimson viscous mask. Yeah. So even on, even though Sandman didn't break his freaking jaw, he was still bloodied up bad.
Yeah. And, brutal stuff. There's one point where Sabu goes for the Arabian face buster off the top rope and he hits it. So the leg drop with the chair. But I don't know if Sandman just no-sold it or if the barbed wire that was wrapped around his head blunted the blow. I don't know what the psychology was there.
Beer.
Or if the physics make sense. The beer. It's probably the beer. Yeah. That's Bud Heavy for you. That's what will happen. But and then it's just one big kendo stick shot to the head of Sabu for the 1-2-3. Just almost kind of abrupt, but it was also like kind of like, oh, it makes sense. He's the Singapore cane guy. Let him get a win with the Singapore cane. 1-2-3 with the barbed wire wrapped around his neck still. And so Sandman wins, and the show closes with Sandman with the barbed wire wrapped around his neck, bloody as all hell, as the winner. So again, just another beautifully ECW showcase. I thought this was.
For sure. And those ringside photographers, man, were really trying to get a shot of that. That was the key, right? Getting that Sandman with the barbed wire wrapped around his, caught in his hair and his wrapped around his forehead. I'm sure that graced some old magazine covers back in the day, right? Some PWIs or the wrestlers, right? The old black and whites. So they were definitely clamoring to get that shot. But, little bit of the critique is that, but the selling, I was going to say, but are we watching this for the selling? No,
Right.
we're watching it for the brutality, right? So, because in the beginning of the match, it was all Sabu. I mean, he was mounting all the offense. They go into the crowd, they get onto that little stage gimmick thing that's out there. And then Sabu, and to your point, Scott, earlier when you said, that ECW is like quick, quick, quick. Like there's not that, nowadays it's like, oh, I'm going to climb the top ropes and I'm going to, look around and showboat a little bit, and then I'm going to leap. Not Sabu and not ECW. He fucking climbed to the top of that stage, and then it was almost like he was mid-stride and just leaped from it and down onto the Sandman. I mean, he didn't even think about what he was about to do, right? He didn't even think about I'm just going to jump off the stage through a table, and you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of times you see those guys like take a second and go, oh, fuck, I'm really going to do this. No, Sabu just boop, 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 bing, bang.
All business. Yeah. All business for Sabu, yeah.
Yeah, and then Sandman just recovered pretty quickly right after that to start taking the advantage in the match. And I was like, yeah, Sandman, you could have sold that a little bit longer. But that's a small critique on my end. I thought it was awesome for what it was, and absolutely.
For sure. Scott, any other thoughts on this one?
So, I mean, Sabu, man, I mean, this was so taped, right? So, like, I was thinking, like, was there ever, like, a break where, like, they checked on Sabu and checked on his jaw? But then I'm like, nah, it's Sabu. I mean, this guy puts super glue over his cuts all over his body. Like, he's a maniac. Like,
right.
The guy's got he's not Joey Mercury at Armageddon 06 getting his face smashed into a ladder and then running for cover, not finishing the match, right? This is Sabu. He'll do it all, man, for the love of the game. And I mean, you got to give it up to him for that. So these guys, they'll do it all for the brand, man. ECW, man, they kill themselves.
Safety's out the window. And even at the very end of the matchup, after the pin happened and Fonzie's back in there, looking at his taped jaw, he's looking around for help. And to your point, Scott, I didn't see the referee check on Sabu one single time. Like, once you notice if a guy is bleeding from the jaw, like, hey, dude, are you all right? Like something to kind of check on him, didn't do it. And then no one came in to help him. It was just poor Fonzie.
Damage control was like, we're at our quota for the night.
I was literally about to say that. Damage control, like, there's only so many damage controllers. So only so much damage to control, or too much damage to control. You know what I mean? So
yes.
It all makes sense, really, when you think about it. But yeah, Fonzie is a point of this match where he stopped whistling, and it was, oh shit, his jaw's broken. What do I do? So
right. You could tell there was legit concern on his face, and he's finally like, come in here, like this, he needs help. He's like, I saw him motioning like this at the end.
Yeah, it was hardcore to say the least. I mean, it's like a cliche word now. This is like the definition of it. And infamous, famous, whatever you want to call it, Stairway to Hell is thumbs up in my book. I mean, there's definitely like the critiques of it, but it's almost like, it's ECW, it's Sabu, it's Sandman. It's like they get a little bit of grace, at least for me. So
for sure.
Fun way to end the show. And that brings the party to a close. House Party 1998 is what a wild ride this was. Any other parting thoughts for the show as a whole, or any other thoughts on House Party?
I mean, I wish I had the opportunity again to live and go to a show during that era. Just, watching this I don't want to call it pay-per-view, but this special just gave me nostalgia, like I said. And man, it was quite a time to be a wrestling fan. Things have changed quite drastically nowadays. On our podcast, we try to stick to the old school stuff, 80s and 90s, because that's really where it's at, man. And,
yeah.
this just kind of, it's so easy to get into. You're like, oh my God, yeah, like this is what wrestling, was. I mean, ECW was what it was, but just a lot of fun. I actually had the opportunity to right the wrong, and I went to both one night stands. So I got, that I will go down as saying 05 one night stand was the best wrestling event I have ever attended in my entire life.
Oh,
and
dude,
I was
Hammerstein Ballroom. I can only imagine that atmosphere.
It was electric. I was third row that night and then second row in 2006. And it was worth the $425 that I dropped on that seat, man.
Dude,
I would not.
In 2026, the concept of paying $400 to be third row for a major pay-per-view. I mean, are you kidding me? In a second, give me 10 of them.
Yeah. At that time, man, in 05, I was like, oh, this is, but then once the show was over, I'm like, this is the best $425 I've ever spent in my entire life. But that I really got to finally experience, somewhat of an ECW dose, and it was.
I'd say that counts. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a hell of a time, man. So yeah, ECW will live on forever. Here we are in 2026, still talking about ECW, and that just goes to show you what legendary matches and what a legendary promotion it was. So.
It's a cockroach. It'll never die. What about you, Scott? Any other thoughts on House Party 98?
Well, I got to say thank you, because if it wasn't for this podcast, this YouTube show, wouldn't have been watching House Party 98. So just thank you for that, because I took a trip down to memory lane and got to see some wrestling that I didn't remember. So it was great watching it and great to critique it. So thank you for letting us on and giving us this platform. And everybody out there, just when you can, just check out the Stiff Shot Pod. We're like the new kid on the block here, and we'll talk about topics like this. And then we like to show off times we've met people. So for example, here's a picture here of a lot of people that were on that ECW show, and that's me there with my buddy Paul.
Hell
there's
yeah.
Sandman, there's Sabu, who were in the main event, New Jack, Jerry Lynn, franchise. So we show off things like that on our pod, and love to take trips down memory lane and reminisce and tell stories that we've had personally with a lot of these wrestlers, and just be sure to check us out. But yeah, House Party 98. I don't, like I said, if you're an ECW faithful, I gave it an A-. So it was thought it was a great show for an ECW fan. So, and just thanks again.
Absolutely. Hey, if you like Grand Naniwa, if you like Roadkill, you'll love the Stiff Shot podcast. And that's what you guys always say, right?
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth.
Yep. And stay stiff. Is that how you guys close your shows? Stay stiff out there?
You know what? We're going to close them out that way now. I appreciate that.
Okay. I better get royalties, but
for sure. Yeah. We'll put a little cred in the description there for you. All right.
Just my face in the middle of the screen, if you could.
All right. Let's not get carried away here. All right.
Or in the background during the show. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about this offline. Once again, thank you to Scotty Boy and Timmy Boy for joining the program. Was a hoot and a nanny with those boys. Would love to have them on again. But go check out the Stiff Shot podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube and all that stuff. I'll follow me, poke me, spit on me. You know all the deal. Hey, again, I'm not going to get into a true hardest promotion battle here, but we will dive into the scoreboard real quick to grade this bad boy. So let's pull it up right about now. All right. From a scale of 0 to 100, and I asked the boys on the pod, but we're going to give our official grade here. From a scale of 0 to 100, what do we think we give ECW House Party 1998? What are we thinking? It's pretty good. Not a bad show. It's not like a super I mean, the main event's obviously very memorable. Everything else, I mean, Scorpio coming back was pretty big. none of the matches outside of the main event. It's like the main event was the whole thing. Everything else was kind of like either par for the course or just like fine. I'm thinking like a C plus maybe. So I'm thinking maybe like a low 70s into mid 70s. We gave Royal Rumble a 75. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sharing my screen here. If you're listening in audio, I mean, I'm talking through it. So, what do we get again? I think it's 70, 72. The boys were giving some low scores on this pod. I'm trying to recapture my feelings watching this show. I mean, it was fine. It was just fine. Maybe did we go 60s? Maybe. The main event was just very ECW. But everything else, did it feel like just a big show? Was there anything that really left you? God damn it, dude. I think it has to be in the 60s, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe 68. Chew on that for a little bit, see how it tastes. 68. Maybe 67. Hold on. Wait a minute. How about a 67? Bartholomew, can you clip this and make a viral clip? Thanks. All right. I think we're gonna go with 67 here for House Party 1998. Seems official to me. So so far we've just given House Party a 67 and Royal Rumble a 75. What will Sold Out bring to us? I believe it was the worst show of 1997, if not among the worst. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to what we got on deck. And I'm looking forward to seeing your lovely, lovely face next week and all of the weeks following. Appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been a fun one, and I got nothing else. I mean, what do you want me to do? What else? You just want to hang out? You want to go wrestle? You want to get in the bed of my truck and wrestle a little bit? Just throwing out ideas, you know? Figure we get to know each other a little better. Maybe get back in the backyard and take our shirts off and wrestle a little bit, maybe. You know? So, get back to me on that. But in the meantime, I'll bid you adieu. Mwah. I'm hard.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing